So my name is Shing Him Au. Today is going to talk about the content and also the style being used in the short documentary single in China. So let's go. It In the short documentary single in China, I will identify it as a expository documentaries and reflexive documentary. So for expository documentary, focus on delivering information and arguments. So expository documentaries concentrate on storytelling, where the expository style engage the audience directly through titles or narration that convey narrative, suggest a viewpoint or put forth a case. Yeah. So for a reflexive documentaries part, highlight how the film is created. It's always focused on the edit and the shooting skills. Is often raised question about the presentations and reality. And in the above documentaries, does combine the above elements and will elaborate more below. Yeah. So let's talk about how does it present in the documentary. So the documentary begin with the interview to introduce the main character and focusing on one woman criteria for a marriage partner and her emotion and expression change throughout the conversation, highlighting her feeling. The documentary briefly explained the social pressure on Chinese women to marry, providing a context for the interviewees. The title summarized key points successfully later. The interviewees converse with her family with close-up capturing their reactions to her mention or marital pressure and reflecting the documentary's themes and utilizing effective editing technique. Yeah. So for the style part, I suggest that the producer use a narrative technique from the movie to bring out the topic of this documentary, like is a cinematic technique. So which means the documentary is quite cinematic. It's is different from the other documentary in that is not the simple interview with some narration to explain it. Instead, there are some close-up describe the interviewer so that you can be a better understanding to change of her expressions. So also a real-time interview can let the audience dive into the main character life deeper. In addition, her narration is clear and concise. Also come with the subject title to make a small conclusion of each part. So making it easier for the audience to understand and feel. So in the interview, the soundtrack is used in the transition of scenes in the documentary, which effectively is the transition between the scenes similar to the use in the movie. Yeah, that's why it's cinematic style. So when we're trying to combine the style, content, and also the most, so the documentary uniquely blend the expository and reflexive style. The producer used a narrative technique beyond the simple interviews featuring close-up of the interviewers or engage the viewers with her life. So clear narration and thematic story summarize sections, enhancing comprehensions, soundtrack transitions, smooth scene shifts, and reflecting cinematic techniques. So is this approach to highlight the challenge faced by a single woman in China, using real-time video for immersion, and each segment ends with a thematic summarize to reinforce understanding and close-up of the characters' reactions, enhance the emotion connection. So this combination strengthen the documentary's message and making it accessible and impactful. So for the final form part, the title and the soundtrack works together to enhance the scene's transition to reveal the interviewee's background, editing the audience understanding. So camera movement and shot size capture the emotion reaction of the interviewee and her family detail. So allowing the audience to connect with her feeling. So ultimately, the documentary style modes and content collaborated, it effectively providing a clearer expression for the interviewer. So below are the scenes change that with the title and the soundtrack serving the transition as well as close-up shot of the emotion of the interviewee and the title of summarizing the points of each part. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time, and here's the reference list. Thank you.